that sense, we're going to begin and see where physics really began. And many people believe that physics began at this one moment, when we began to study what is called motion. Because till then, it was not really physics in the way that we think about it. Physics or science was more philosophical. Aristotle would make up some theory as to this is the natural state of objects. And just because we can make it up and we can talk about it, and just because it sounds good, it's true, right? It was assumed to be proved. This might sound very ridiculous to you right now, right? How can we just take it to be like that? But it was the case until somebody called Galileo began to become what's called skeptic and say, okay, you're telling me certain things. Shall I try it out? Let's see if it works. And that many people believe was the official beginning of science in the way that we know it. Where when somebody says something or when somebody thinks something is true, in other words, you say, no, the natural state of objects is to be in a state of rest, something like that. Then, the fact that Galileo took it out there, tried it out in the real world and saw if it really works, was, according to many people, the official beginning of science. And one of the first things that he studied was what we're going to call motion, or when something is moving. And one of the first things that we're going to try and understand is what is it that we mean when something is moving. Let's take a very simple definition, right? You're looking at something, you continue to see it. Great. You keep looking at it, and if it's there, we say that it is at rest. Okay. But if you see it, and after some time it's not there, or you look where is it, and you turn your head, and then it's there. And then you have to keep turning your head to make sure you keep seeing it. Then we say the body is moving. Sounds like a pretty trivial definition, right? But that's pretty much it. So if your head turns, it means it is moving. So one of the first questions we'll ask is that, how do you know when something is moving? And the simple answer is if your head turns. That's one of the fundamental ways we see it. Great. But what if you're in a train, right? So who's really moving? You're in the train, there's somebody sitting right in front of you. Now you look at him, he's right there. You don't have to turn your head to keep seeing him. One case that we left out is somebody is moving away from you in a straight line. Then of course you don't have to turn your head, but you still know that they're moving because they start becoming smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Or if they're coming towards you, they become larger and larger and larger. And your intuition tells you it's not the person really growing so fast. So you kind of infer they must be coming closer to you. All this is based on intuition, right? As to what things move and what things don't. So if you're on the train, you see somebody, okay, they're not moving. But are they really not moving? Now what does that question really mean? Because if somebody's standing outside, he's going to say, hey, that guy is moving. But you're going to sit inside and say, oh, he's not moving. Okay, let's take one more example. You're in the train and you look outside. What do you see? You see that the trees are whizzing past, the fields are whizzing past. You see them all moving, right? Are they moving? Or are they at rest? And you're the one who's moving. Or does that question even make any sense? Because if you look at it, if you're sitting here in the earth and you say, hey, this is all at rest. Because right now you look at me and you probably think that, okay, this tablet is at rest, everything is at rest, right? Ask an astronaut and he'll say something else. Because he's going to be out there and he's looking at the earth rotating really, really fast. How fast? The order of thousands of kilometers every hour. And he's going to say, oh, that person's moving really, really fast. Because even right now, we are moving really, really fast. So are we moving or are we not? It's a pretty difficult thing to measure. In fact, if you're in an aeroplane, what do you feel like? You're sitting inside after a while, unless the aeroplane is climbing up or going down, takeoff, landing, or if it's speeding up or turning, unless any of these things are happening, it pretty much feels like a room to you, right? You could be in an aeroplane right now, as long as none of those things are happening. So, as human beings, are we actually able to measure motion? Do we know when we're moving? We don't, right? We really don't. And the next question is, who is really moving? Because if you're in a car, and let's say you're going, and there's another car that comes right at the same speed as you are. Okay. Now, you look at each other, you're going to say, hey, we're at rest. Now, there's a third car that's going faster than both of you, right? And this guy starts overtaking you. Now, each of you is going to start saying different things about the person in the middle. You're going to say, hey. Now, each of you is going to start saying different things about the person in the middle. You're going to say, hey, he's moving a little faster. The other guy is going to say, no, he's going backwards at some particular speed. Why do we do that? We do this because inherently we assume that we are at rest. Whenever we enter our point of view, we assume the world to be moving around from in our point of view. A classic example of this, for years and years and years, we thought that the sun goes around the earth. Awesome, right? That's what we began. Because we believed that we must be at rest. Therefore, the sun appears to be going like this, and the sun is moving. Till, of course, somebody came and told, hey, no, the sun's at rest. We are going around it. And as far as we are concerned, it looks to us as if the sun's going around, right? Even now we say the sun rises in the east and sets in the west and things like that. Okay, but is the sun at rest? and we are moving. Is that true? Because if you zoom out even further, you see the galaxy or the solar system, and you see that the solar system is kind of moving around in the galaxy. Ooh, okay, the sun itself is not at rest. Oh, so if the sun is moving with respect to the galaxy, now we've reached a point of rest. The galaxy is at rest. Really? You move outside a little bit more, you find that the galaxy is speeding around. In fact, parts of which are speeding around greater than the speed of light. Right? Now you might, the ones that are really keen amongst you might ask, can things go faster than the speed of light? Well, there are special cases where they can. Okay, so there are galaxies out here which are spreading across the universe faster than the speed of light. Are they moving? Yes, they are. So in one sense, everything is moving or nothing is moving, and it all depends upon whose point of view. So the first and the most important nail that we want to put here is saying that motion has no meaning without saying according to whom. So whenever you say